No, my hair didn't.
Beats kicking, bouncing with it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Santosx, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about my natural hair journey and finally share my story. I know it's been a while. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for coming here. Here you're going to learn about natural hair, motherhood, more natural hair, and just my life as a business owner, mom, and wife. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started on this story. Alright, you guys, so I'm going to take us a little bit back, and of course I'm going to put pictures for you guys up here so you can kind of follow along during my story time. But basically we're going to start when I was younger. So when I was younger, from as far back as I remember, my hair was really kinky and thick and bushy, and honestly a lot of people would say like it was hard to manage. My mom was a single parent, and she worked at the time like maybe 2 to 3 jobs, and I also had a bunch of siblings, not that many, but like 4 other siblings who she had to, you know, be a mom to, so she couldn't really so much focus primarily on me and just taking care of my hair the right way, I would say. So yeah, I was the only one out of my sibling group as well that had a different texture hair. Mind you guys, I do have a different father than my other 4 siblings by my mother, but yeah, my texture was very different. So I would say I got the texture of my hair primarily from my father's side, but that's beside the point. The point is, when I was younger, growing up, my hair was really thick, bushy. I didn't really have a curly pattern, so to speak. And you know, my mom was just brushing it and putting it into ballies. She did, you know, the regular ballie style. She did what she could. She wasn't really like a braider type of person. She didn't know all that. So she tried her best. And then at the age of about 8 or 9, so my older sister, who's 1 year older than me, she, along with like my mom and my aunts and my cousins, always got perms like all the time, you know, regular scheduled perms. And I remember crying and begging her to give me a perm. Like I wanted one so bad because I wanted straighter hair, and I remember when my sister's hair would you know, it would be time for her to get her relaxer and perm, and you know, afterwards her hair was soft and much more manageable, and then you know, it was just so much different than mine. And I was just like, why, you know? And I think my mom was, you know, at the time she was aware that my hair was different than the rest of my siblings, and she was also trying to, in a way, protect my hair, because she was like, I don't think, you know, you should get the perm. I don't really remember this story too much, but I do know that I begged her, and then I did get a perm. So I did get the perm. However, it didn't really turn out, you know, per se like how everyone else's hair did. I think my hair was a little bit softer, but it was still very much bushy, very much thick. And as I got into middle school, it was, excuse me, it was still pretty thick, and I would literally put it in a ponytail, and they would call it a pom-pom, or like some people would call it like a puff ball. And it would be so mashed and squished in the middle, as in this picture that I'm gonna put up here for you guys. But it was always just really matted, really thick. And at this time I was trying my best to take care of it, but I didn't really have any resources. I didn't know anything about natural hair. We shopped at the Dollar Tree like all the time, because you know, we were on a very tight budget, and you know, just natural hair, and you know, it wasn't in something we even cared about like that. You know, as long as we had some gel, our hair wasn't like dirty and stinking, and a scrunchie, we were good to go normally. So yeah, that's what I had to deal with in middle school. Really thick hair, really puffy hair. And then as I got out of middle school, or around my 8th grade year, is when I started straightening my hair and really learning about like my hair texture. And I started going to the Dominicans, and I was like, okay, I'm liking this. And my length did start coming from middle school to 9th grade. My hair was pretty long. It stopped at maybe right here, and I would constantly get it straightened. So this is when I went through my heat damage period, when I was constantly straightening my hair non-stop, because that is when it was most manageable, and that's when I loved it the most, and I got the most compliments. People, every time I would straighten my hair, would like immediately ask me, are you mixed? Like, what do you mix with? I want her hair. Like, it was always that. And then, but when I would not straighten it, and it was just kind of that bushy, thick texture, and it just wasn't, I didn't get any compliments. You know, people were just like, girl, you need to do something with your hair. And also my pattern, because of the heat damage, things were looking really crazy. It was like thick at the roots, and then I would have some straight pieces at the bottom, but not very much of a curl pattern. So you guys, this curl texture that you see right now, I didn't meet these curls, or I wasn't introduced to these curls and kinks in my hair until later on in my life, in my late teens. But yeah, so after I experienced heat damage, then I was like, hey, I want to add some color. So I begged my sister to bleach the ends of my hair, and she went ahead and did it. At first I wanted my whole head, but I settled for the ends of it. So that caused a lot of damage to my hair as well. I was experiencing breakage, shedding constantly like a dog. I mean, as is right now, my hair sheds a lot, but when I was in that stage where my hair was very damaged and fragile, it was just breaking off all the time, everywhere, and nobody really noticed. I even had one girl from high school wrote me and said, I never knew that about your hair, because it didn't look like that in high school. I would have never guessed that it was so damaged. And I really appreciated her for saying that. And it was always like really subconscious about, like, when the hair was shedding off and breaking, I would, you know, I would even carry around a lint roller, you guys, and go in the bathroom and like lint roll my hair. I didn't want people touching my hair. Every time I heard a strand pop, now if you're a natural, you know what I'm talking about too. When the strand pops, like, you can hear it. I would, no, my hair didn't. But yeah, I was definitely one of them girls. I joined cheerleading. I used to have my hair in like the half up, half down, and I just really love being able to like swing my hair with the, you know, my straight hair, like, you know, walk and do that little bounce. You guys know that bounce I'm talking about. Don't make me have to show you that bounce. Oh, y'all gonna make me show you that bounce. Hold on. Okay, back to the regular schedule program. So yeah, I was just so much into that. And honestly, I think around this time as well, I was going through like a white girl phase. I really, well, not adored, but I was very like a little bit envious of white people, because at a certain time I was just like, their hair is constantly straight. And I know not all white people, Caucasian people, white people, their hair is not always straight. Some of them do have like a curl pattern, a wave pattern, you know, they can have different textures as well. But the majority of the white girls that I saw had this straight hair, and I'm thinking like, I want to wake up all the time with this hair. It's amazing. Like, I just love bouncing the ponytail, twirling it around my fingers, just feeling like, it was just, you know, it's a different feeling with straight hair. But back then for me, it was like, it was crazy. It was just like a high for me. I was addicted to straightening my hair. So yeah, so after a while, yeah, and my hair was a pretty good length as well. It grew a little bit more in high school, and I think that was the reason for the growth as well, although it wasn't the healthiest of hair, was just that I wasn't doing too much with it. When I would straighten it, I would just wear it down or in that ponytail, and I was also using really good oils in my hair most of the time. So at this time I was introducing like olive oil, castor oil into my hair regime, and I would massage my scalp, not too much where it was like greasy and weighed down, but, and also I did oil my ends, which is something that I posted in a recent video, and people were like, what are you talking about? Sealing the ends, because I was experiencing so much damage in my ends, and I wanted them to be strong and sturdy and stuff. I would, you know, take a little bit of oil, And I still do this with my natural hair now, and I think it definitely works. So you take some oil, put it on your hands, not too much, all right? And like, you know, once or twice a week, just oil your ends, seal your ends, give them a little love, a little nourishment, a little, you know, appreciation, because you want them bonded, you want them strong. They're the most fragile part of your hair. All right, anyway, so around 2015 is when I graduated high school, and I'm trying to speak a little fast. I hope my camera doesn't die. But I was leaving high school. I felt a change coming. Like, I knew I wanted to experience something different with my hair, but I wasn't fully ready to transition to fully natural. But I decided, why not do a chop? So I went ahead and chopped my bangs, and I looked very much hillbilly lost. But I did that, and after that chop, you know, it was just like, okay, why not trim off some of these dead ends and heat damage? So that's what I did. Gosh, oh, hold on. Okay, so that's what I did, and I went into college, and I was again experiencing, you know, I went to a predominantly white school, so, you know, there was a lot of, you know, white people, and I would see the straight hair, and I immediately thought, like, that is the most beautiful hair ever. I want straight hair again. That's where I was fitting in. A lot of my friends were all white, so it just felt like a natural thing for me to do. And I was like, you know, I just don't want to have to deal with my hair. It was just so much, and, you know, I wasn't fully, again, I was in a transitioning stage too, although I wasn't committing to being natural. But my hair, the pattern, it wasn't like this, so I was like, I don't want it. So yeah, I went through my first year of college as a freshman, and I continuously straightened my hair. But I did start to watch a lot of YouTube, although I did previously, but I was getting more into YouTube and figuring out like how people get their hair to be how they want it to be. And that's when I created my first vision board that I shared before. I love this vision board because it was all the things that I wanted in my life, and I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I figured I'll get there sooner or later. So eventually, yeah, I started watching certain YouTubers that had similar hair texture as me, or as I wanted my hair to be. And that's when I started doing things that needed to be done. I started deep conditioning. I started like applying good products and detangling the proper way. I started protecting my hair, satin, and, you know, just doing all the things that I preach about on my Instagram and in my private hair group. Just developing the hair, rebirthing the hair ultimately, and just doing the right things. So, you know, after that, it was just like things changed my second year. I mean, I started dropping friends. The friends that I had around that were black, they were wearing their natural hair, beautiful, and I was like, they look confident and they're happy, and they're not like trying to change themselves to be something that they, you know, that we're not. You're not. So I was just like, I can do this. I can do this. So had my vision board, had my plan, and I just started working at it, even though it was awkward at sometimes. Because when I tell you guys, my last roommate, I had 2 black roommates. My last roommate was a white girl, and her name is Holly. Still love her. She was a great roommate. But I remember, like, I was deep conditioning my hair, and I had to do the whole trash bag thing, and had all these products in my caddy, and it felt like I felt so subconscious a little bit, like, oh my god. And I do remember her laughing seeing me with the trash bag on my head, not in an offensive way, but more like, what is going on, girl? What are you doing? I'm just like, it has to get done. So there ain't no shame in my hair game because it got done. And yeah, I just started seeing my hair transform, like, and my hair was really, like, it was thriving, and I was like, wow, like, it's crazy. Although I was putting a lot more time and effort into it, as time was going on and on, it was getting a lot easier. And before I knew it, because I never really focused on length like that, but after I had left college, gave birth to my daughter, and I did go through a phase of depression where, you know, my hair was a little wacky at a certain point. But after I jumped out of that phase, I think that's a story for another video. But anyway, my hair really started growing, like growing crazy, and I didn't notice it until, because it was such a while since I straightened my hair. Since my freshman year of college, I stopped straightening my hair then, and maybe I did it like once every 6 months. But yeah, my hair really started growing, and then it became like once every year, and now it's 2021, and I haven't straightened it like since forever. I didn't straighten it last year, I'm pretty sure, unless it was the beginning. But the point is, I really started taking care of my hair. I started YouTube. I started inspiring people. I was doing more styles in my hair, protective styles, not just a regular wash and go, because I was realizing that wash and goes can be a little toxic at times. And if you don't know what I mean, you will if you keep doing a wash and go every single week. You might find that your hair is like, you know, it needs a break. So although I wasn't really much into weaves and stuff, my break for my hair was the natural styles, doing braid outs, twist outs, flat twist, even sometimes adding weave, but that rarely happens. Although I am trying to get more into weave styles, because I do like, you know, those protective styles as well. But yes, again, I was doing more styles, sharing my progress, sharing my journey. And a lot of people are like, so how long has it take your hair to grow to waist length as it is now? And it's really hard to answer that, but I hope with my story and these pictures you can kind of answer it for yourself. But I will say, looking back at my pictures from like last year, 2020, my hair wasn't as long as it is. It wasn't waist length. It maybe was like right here, shoulder, breast length, and then it popped, you know. So, and you know, and that's happened many times before. Not it reaching waist length, but it's happened where it will go here because maybe I'm not doing something right, and then it will grow a little longer. I've also got two diva cuts in the last few years, and both of those cuts I did get a lot chopped off because I wanted to shape my hair, because I had layers at one point and I didn't want layers. So yes, a lot of changes happen within my hair. But my hair, I wouldn't say my hair grows necessarily fast, but I will say, you know, doing the right things to your hair, you will start to see progress, and your hair will start to change. And focusing on healthy hair is super, super important. I went through a lot with my hair, a lot of changes, a lot of trials and errors. And natural hair, really quick, natural hair is definitely a trial kind of thing. Not going natural, but trying to figure out what works for your natural hair can definitely be like, oh my gosh, like what is going on? You do have to try a lot of things when it comes to products. Maybe what works for her might not work for you, but just be open and be knowledgeable. Also, I would recommend making a budget and check out reviews as well. You know, understand your hair type. That's super important. Porosity is really important. If you guys didn't know, I have low porosity hair. But yeah, if you're looking for more resources as like you really want like someone, like a place where you can learn about your natural hair, you can gain tips and insights and hear other women trying products and just hear reviews and a lot of other information, definitely join my natural hair group and hair club, because I do share a lot on that channel. I actually just shared a video with my group about like how my hair was shutting products out, and it does that every single time when I need a certain treatment. So I went ahead and shared that with them, and I think it's going to help a lot of ladies, because maybe their hair might do the same thing, because it's a very common thing where your hair just locks out product and moisture, and it starts to get, you know, very difficult in a sense. But there's ways to combat that, and it's my pleasure and it's my honor to be able to just help other women and just share their journey and feel inspired, because that is how I feel, and it definitely has boosted my confidence times 1,000. And I just cannot wait, you know, for my daughter to even get older, and I know that she's gonna love her natural hair. It's beautiful as is, but it's just like, I just can't wait for we're able to talk about it and just like I don't know, like, and then she has kids of her own, and she'll be able to teach them what she's learned and what she's been raised to know, that her natural hair is beautiful. And you know, yes, protective styles, you can do protective styles if you want, and be spontaneous, be bold, get the big chop, you can dye your hair, you know, if you want to, all those things. Excuse me. But just knowing that your natural hair, you know how to take care of your natural hair, you know what your hair needs, and you're happy with your hair and yourself, is definitely such an empowering feeling. Alright, so this is the end of this video. I hope this wasn't too long. I know this was very long overdue. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys in a later video. Again, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want notifications when I post again. Also put some resources down for you guys below. If you haven't followed my Instagram, definitely do that. Join my natural hair group, follow my business, One More Day Natural, where I share my Nourish oil with you guys. Really amazing. And if it's sold out, I'm sorry, but it'll be back in stock really soon. And these satin scrunchies are good for protecting your hair, and I'm gonna have amazing things on my site, so just follow. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.